Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube episode of School Finesse. Today, I have Shane with us. Thanks for joining us, Shane.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So Shane is currently a student. He's a sophomore at the University of Miami. And today he's going to talk about a couple scholarships and a couple opportunities he had when he was going to university. So one of the big things you have, Shane, is a full tuition scholarship to the University of Miami. Shane also has the Comcast Founders Scholarship. And he was also a Bank of America student leader. That one was in 2018. So Shane's going to talk a little bit he's going to start off by talking about a little bit about University of Miami and his full tuition scholarship and how that works, how he got it, and everything like that. So Shane, the floor is yours.
Sure, thank you. My name is Shane. I attend the University of Miami as a sophomore, and I am a Ronald A. Hammond Scholar, meaning that I have full tuition for the 4 years that I attend for undergraduate studies here at UM. I got the scholarship just through automatic consideration by applying as an early applicant. I suggest that all students who apply to college do early action to the universities that offer it, because it does give you a lot more consideration for those financial rewards like scholarships and grants. And again, it was automatic consideration. So I got a message one day just out of the blue saying that I was nominated for a scholarship. I ended up coming down here with my family, interviewing for it. And then I got the news a few weeks later that I actually received it. And so it's automatic. It stays with me for the 4 years upon completion with a GPA of a 3.0. And that's pretty much it about the scholarship. But in terms of the University of Miami, what attracted me to the school is obviously the location. It's perfect balance of, natural beauty, but also you have the city of Miami just steps away, a Uber ride away, a metro ride away. So it's very accessible to different environments. It was far away from home, which I really liked. And also just a really vibrant community, has a big presence on the campus as well in the city of Miami. It's a really different experience than anywhere else in the United States.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So you said for this scholarship, you got automatic consideration just because you applied early.
Yes. So all our early decision and early action applicants to the University of Miami specifically get automatic consideration for the full tuition and full ride scholarships.
Wow. Okay, so now I assume that many people would apply very early to the school. Is it like a lottery? Everyone applies early, they just pick a couple names and then interview those people? Or do they look at your resume, start looking at your grades from there? Or how do they filter people down?
So it varies by the scholarship. Mine specifically is geared towards students that are from minority populations, typically underrepresented communities. So your Black students, African American, Hispanic, Latino, Latinx, Asian communities. So it's geared towards minorities, but there are plenty of other merit scholarships that aren't geared towards minorities at all. And they do look for certain points on your application or your resume, your portfolio, whatever you're submitting in through the Common App in order to decide which applicants then move forward towards the interview process. But some of the scholarships don't have an interview process as well. It really just depends.
Wow. So for the interview process, I think you've mentioned it a couple times. So how was the interview process? Was it a panel, a couple questions? How was that?
So all of the students, it was over 100 of us actually came down to the school one weekend in March, and we participated in a kind of an open house type of weekend where they attracted us to the school. And then towards the end, we completed an interview. I specifically in my room, it was just me with two faculty members from UM, and they were asking, it was very personal, very informal, I would say. And they just asked questions about me, just getting to know me and to see if I would really be a great fit at the school.
Oh, wow. Couple faculty members, couple questions, very casual, nothing too extreme, right?
Don't get me wrong. It was pretty scary. I guess,
Okay.
there was a lot at stake. I really wanted to come to the school.
Right.
So it was stressful, but at the end of the day, they did do what they did what they had to do to make us feel comfortable and like we could say what we wanted and express the true essence of ourselves.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. So, do you know how much the tuition usually costs?
Tuition here is about 52,000 a year, I believe. Tuition itself.
Every single year. So, for
Yeah.
you, that's absolutely free for 4 years.
Yes.
I just think that's crazy that all people have to do is be early and apply on time. People don't do that. Some people wait to the last minute. They wait to the week of, then they
Right.
rush and put their application in. So I think that's awesome that the university would have such a scholarship for people who are just doing what they're supposed to do and staying ahead of the game.
Definitely. Definitely.
Wow. Okay, we have a question here. Someone's asking if someone misses the deadline, like they're not applying early, or maybe they procrastinated for whatever reason. What other scholarships can they apply for? Do you know of any of those?
Yeah, so there are plenty of other private scholarships that you can apply for, whether it's through a company, organization, a club within your school. There are several scholarships that you can apply for, and I really recommend going for those medium amounts of scholarships as well, because what I've seen personally with my friends and other students is those tend to add up the most rather than going for the really big private scholarships. So if you do miss the deadline for automatic consideration at the university you're applying for, there are actually third-party websites that create lists based on certain aspects that you have, whether you're a senior in high school, a senior in college, and you can input all of your information so that you can have a, a geared list towards your personality and what you bring to the table so that you can kind of narrow down your scholarship search from there. Some really good websites are fastweb.com. Um, Google is a really great resource for scholarships, literally putting in a characteristic that you have and saying scholarships for blank, blank, blank is a really great resource on Google. A lot of things will come up there. Also, Scholly is an app as well as a website, I believe, that's really great for scholarships. And just reaching out to people people, business owners that may be offering scholarships, reaching out to your guidance counselor, because guidance counselors have the plug on a lot of things that are really specific to students that go to that school. So
Hmm.
they can be a very powerful resource as well. So I would just keep your eyes open for that.
Well, that's awesome. Guidance counselors, they have all the information you need because these counselors have been working in those positions for 10, 15,
Right.
however many years. So they know you're not the first student to go to University of Miami, you go to any other school. So they know. So take advantage of the college counselors. Go on Google, search up for scholarships. And when you're searching up for scholarships, make sure you don't fall into any scholarship scams. If any scholarship is telling you to put your social security number or anything crazy or pay money before you can apply for the scholarship, just be careful about those two obvious scam tactics. All
Definitely.
right, so that's awesome. So that's all about that full tuition scholarship to the University of Miami. But Shane, you also got the Comcast Founders Scholarship in 2019. So can you tell us a little bit about the Comcast Founders Scholarship, how that works, how people can get involved with it in your experience?
Yes, definitely. So during my senior year of high school, I was applying to all of these scholarships through all of these companies and organizations, just trying to kind of create a financial cushion for myself for when I got my financial aid packages from the universities that I did apply to.
Mhm.
And Comcast was actually the only one of the private scholarships besides the one that I got from my university that I received through all of these applications, maybe 30, 40 applications to scholarships.
Wow.
So the specific year that I did it in 2019, they offered a certain amount of $2,500 scholarships to students by state. So I'm originally from Maryland, so I was in the Comcast Maryland region. And then they actually had us come to a ceremony for that scholarship, and I ended up getting extra money. They chose an additional person in each state to receive additional money, which was, I'm really grateful to Comcast for that. So that was kind of the process with that. It was just a simple application that had a pretty short essay. I had to input my activities and just a typical information that's required to get a scholarship, just information about my school. I think I might have had to get a recommendation as well. So I would definitely just reach out to um, leaders that you have within your school and mentors that you have within your school. It's great to have those connections so that they can, number one, help you with your recommendations for your scholarship applications, and also just kind of guide you through that process. So that was the process with that.
Wow, that's awesome. So for the Comcast scholarship, how did you find out about it? Was it through Google? Was it a guidance counselor? Was it Comcast themselves?
So I believe I found the Comcast scholarship on just one of those third party websites that I was mentioning.
Hmm.
Um, Another one that I didn't mention was, I believe, Scholarship America is really good for student scholarships. Those are always real. I believe the Comcast one was actually through Scholarship America, so I think I might have found it on that website. And um, yeah, so I found it on a third party website, and it brings you to the direct link to the Comcast one. I'm not sure, due to the coronavirus, a lot of companies have taken away their scholarships for this academic year. They're pushing the applications into the springtime. So I wouldn't be discouraged if you can't find a lot right now. They'll probably start to open back up once companies have reevaluated kind of like their financial abilities and everything. But yeah, I found it on one of those third party websites and just decided to apply randomly.
Wow, that's awesome. It's great to hear that you earned that scholarship. I found you on the web.
Yes,
Here's
yes.
Here you are, a picture,
Yeah.
and it said that you got 7,000. You got an extra $7,500. I think that's what you were talking about when you went to the ceremony, right?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so people go out there, search up, Google third-party websites. They're not all bad. You might, find a scholarship like Comcast,
Hmm.
and that's pretty crazy. You applied for so many, and it was this Comcast scholarship that came through for you.
Yes.
All right. So you have not a scholarship, but another opportunity that you did take advantage of in 2018, and that was the Bank of America Student Leadership Program. So
Yes.
can you tell us about the Bank of America Student Leadership Program, how you found out about it, how you got involved, and your overall experience?
Of course. So I actually found the Bank of America Student Leadership internship program while I was just looking for opportunities to get involved in the workforce. I was looking for summer opportunities because I just wanted to do something different. I've actually been working like regular minimum wage jobs since I was 13. So when I got to junior year of high school, I was just ready for something different to do over the
Hmm.
summer, something a little bit more valuable. And
Yeah.
I've come to find that there are a lot of different experiences that are available to high school students. So when I was looking for opportunities, Bank of America came across, but I don't think I really paid too much attention to it. But then my mom actually reminded me of it, and told me that I should apply. So it's a pretty long application, and you have several questions to answer, a lot of deep thought questions that, it took a while to complete the application, and then you have to find recommendations as well, similar to any type of student application, input some other information. And I went through an interview process for it and eventually got it in the spring of my junior year. So I completed the program during the summer. And what it is an 8-week internship with a local nonprofit within that Bank of America region. And you work there with other student leaders from across the state or across the region that you're in. And you're able to attend a 1-week conference in DC as well, where you learn about nonprofit organizations, the nonprofit sector, financial security, personal financial management, the government, how the government is interconnected with certain nonprofit sectors. So you're really learning a lot of civic engagement, the value of civil engagement. And I love that this opportunity is available to high school students, because a lot of times I feel like the intelligence and the capabilities of high school students are overlooked when they really are the best among us. And we should be giving them as many opportunities as we do people that are older, because they are really who we're trying to build up to kind of progress. So I think this is a really great opportunity for anyone, and I suggest applying.
Wow, that is awesome. We have to build up the high schoolers. There's opportunities
Yeah,
out there for them. And what I really like that you're saying is that you basically found these scholarships because you went out there looking for opportunities, looking for money, looking for ways to better yourself, to help yourself. You weren't just sitting there hoping that a scholarship would fall into your lap, or someone would just say, hey, go apply for this, or hey, go this, or hey, go do that. Because I think that it's important that, we learn and understand that you have to go out there and get what you want.
right.
All right. So we have a question here. I forgot this question earlier. There's another one. So since you have two scholarships, do they double or do you just pick one? And I think what this question is asking is that if you earn more than one scholarship, can you keep stacking them on top of each other? Or does the school say, you know what, you have one too many scholarships, you have to pick and choose?
Right. So it does depend on the university. Yes, go Canes. It does depend on the university. So for mine specifically, my Comcast scholarship was used to pay for a lot of my room and board, which was the bulk of the remaining money that I had to pay after my tuition was covered by my Hammond scholarship for the university. But a lot of times with some universities, especially private universities, you have to be careful with their financial aid process, because when you bring in a lot of outside money, they'll adjust your financial aid package accordingly so that you still have to pay for something, so that they're not paying you to come to the school. So it is a tricky topic and you really have to be careful, which is why you have to start early. Knowing what kind of funds you have before decision day might affect your decision. So it's really important to know what will stack, because a lot of colleges do not, and they call it stacking. They don't allow you to stack your scholarships on top, but at the University of Miami, they do.
Wow. So you said that you have to be careful because the school wants to make sure that they're not paying you to go to school. Does that mean that they want to make sure that you're not getting more scholarships than the school is worth?
Yeah, and I think this is very rare that they'll adjust your package to the point where you're still paying if you bring in a lot of outside money, because at the end of the day, money is money from other scholarships. But sometimes, a lot of universities can be unfortunately greedy, and they can have profits before people sometimes, and you just have to be careful of their financial aid policy. And I think that that's not a school that I would want to go to. It's a really good show of how that school is going to treat you financially for the rest of your time there, and it's a really good way to tell how much they value their students. So yeah, you do have to be careful of that. But I think it's rare. Like you'll most likely be able to stack your scholarships.
Okay. So there you go. Someone commented, they said, I wish I went to UM as an undergrad. There's so many opportunities with UM and staff is so helpful. Good job. Do you agree that the University of Miami has helpful staff, helpful resources? Is there anything else that the university offers?
Yeah, so I would definitely agree that there are a lot of opportunities within the school. One of the reasons that I applied was the way they offer their academic programs is very versatile, and you're able to dip into a lot of areas, whether you're a Foot Fellow, which is an honors program that I'm actually a Foot Fellow. It eliminates the necessity of having a gen ed system. So you're able to just stack on minors and majors. until you fulfill those degree requirements, and then you can graduate. So it gives you a lot of academic freedom. If you're not a Flip Fellow, they also have the Cognate system, which is our system of general education. And you have to fulfill 3 areas so that they're ensuring that you're getting a well-rounded academic experience. I also plan to study abroad. There's a lot of travel opportunities within the organization, within organizations here, within academics. And overall, I would agree that this is just such a opportunity-rich institution, and there's nothing that can beat it.
Wow, that's awesome. It's refreshing to hear a school that's able to do that. So we have another question. Someone said, I know the University of Miami is a very big school. Do you ever feel alone or do you always feel connected?
So it's actually a medium-sized school for undergrads. So we have about 10,000 undergraduates, so about 2,500 students in each class. And I would say that I don't feel disconnected to the UM community whatsoever. There are so many cultural, academic, and professional organizations that you can join. And also, UM is big on building communities of students that are there to support each other. So within my scholarship, I know everyone that has my certain scholarship, we have a group chat and we talk all the time. I'm in a variety of organizations like United Black Students, NAACP. I work on a television show for the School of Communication. So those are just a few examples of ways that you can get involved that also serve as communities where you can build networks, build friends. And in addition, our residence halls are also very family-like. It's a very family-like atmosphere, and I've never felt disconnected from the community at all. So I wouldn't be afraid to go to a medium-sized or large school because there are those communities that you can kind of retreat to when you need to.
Absolutely. I go to a fairly large school. As an undergraduate student, I went to Towson University, and I think they had about 25,000 students. And while I was there, I didn't feel disconnected, just because of the same reasons that you mentioned, is that you can find groups, you can find group chats, you can find different people in your class, who you can talk to and really form connections and bonds with. We have another question. So somebody said, do you ever feel like being in school was getting too hard or felt like giving up? If so, what ways did you combat that? If you ever feel like giving up in school, what can you tell people to keep them going?
I'm glad that Vanessa mentioned this because a lot of times I feel like there are a lot of short bursts of being discouraged in college, but like a lot of it can be really fun, but also, you will have those short periods of feeling like you can't do this, feeling like the only solution is to drop out and try to find something else. A lot of times, most students are confused about their major. The people that know what they want to do really don't. They're just pretending. I'm telling you right now.
It's the truth.
No, for real. Like, no one knows what they want to do when they get to college. Don't be discouraged. I would say that reminding yourself that feeling is temporary is so helpful, and just finding ways to cope with the stress and it's very quick pace. You will ask anyone here, I can't believe I'm a first semester sophomore because time has gone by so fast, but at the same time, we're all doing so much that we never really take time for ourselves. So I would just try to find that space on campus or off campus where you can kind of retreat to mentally and be just present in the moment. So just taking mental breaks, physical breaks is really effective. Getting off campus for a weekend, visiting home if you need to, just putting your mental health first and knowing that getting a 4.0 is not everything. Get the grade that you can, doing the best you can, and move on. It's the same degree that everyone's getting. But yeah, also those organizations, being involved in clubs and organizations really help because they really are the reason that you're there. It's to build a network, it's to have fun, it's to learn, and you're going to get all of those doing fun things like joining organizations that relate to what you want to do.
Awesome. That was a perfect answer. But yes, I think one thing I want to add to that is something that's very important is not comparing your journey to somebody else's.
Mhm.
Just like you said, people have to take care of themselves. One person might be saying, they are striving for this 4.0 and want to be perfect and all that stuff. And then you, on the other end, somebody else might be striving for that, but that person is working a full time job. That person might have children. They might have all these different things that you don't see.
Right.
So it's important, take care of yourself, do what you need to do. Like you said, a lot of people are confused, don't know what they want to do or what they're trying to do. You're all faking it.
Right. Yeah.
But we're all figuring it out. That's what we're trying to do here. So thank you everyone for your questions. Before we go here, I just wanted to mention that show you this website here. This is Shane's website. He's out here trying to help college students, not high school students actually, with their college applications essays. I mean, if you are in college and you're trying to transfer, this might be helpful to you. But yes, he has his website here. Please visit his website. It's called acceptedsolutions.com. You can come on here and he will review your essay, edit it for you, right, Shane?
Yes. Yes. A variety of services. So I do everything from explaining the college application process to helping you develop a concept or idea for your essay. Obviously, I'm not going to sit down and write the essay for you, but I will help
Absolutely not.
Yes, I will help guide you through the process of beginning your essay as well as providing editing for grammar, flow, style, and just making sure that you're submitting the best essay possible. So those services are offered at I think, a very affordable and reasonable price. But of course, I
Yeah.
don't want any financial limitations to limit any students from contacting me. So if there are financial constraints, I do suggest that you just email me and we'll work something out.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, these prices, $20. All you have to do is give up your Chipotle for 3 days in a row, and bam, you have
Yes.
$20 to spend to further your education, to further your life.
Yeah.
Um,
So I
so
have everything
please,
ranging from the $20 to more expensive packages where I can help you throughout all of your scholarship applications, every single essay application. So it really just depends on you.
Mhm. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Shane. Well,
Well,
just one more question. One more
yeah.
question. I think you're a celebrity out here. We have one more question for you. Um, so here we go. The question reads, how's the diversity as an undergraduate student at the University of Miami? I know you mentioned some groups and clubs,
Mhm.
but how's the diversity overall? The student body, the teacher body, what you've experienced so far?
So actually has one of the most diverse populations among its undergraduate students of any university in the country. So we're pretty high ranking in diversity. As a Black student coming to a PWI, obviously that raises concerns of belonging, fitting in, just having general representation among the student body. But at I've never felt that my community wasn't represented. The Black community represents about 9 or 10% of the undergraduate population, but it is not hard to meet us at all. We have several organizations ranging from the African Students Association, the Caribbean Students Association, the Black Student Union. We call it United Black Students here. So there are several cultural organizations that are pumped up by the school as well. We have full support of the school, and we show out and show up, and you'll never go a day without seeing like someone from your community that's represented, which I know is kind of something that could happen at another PWI. But here, I feel like the diversity has been A1, A plus. So yeah, here it's really great. But I suggest just looking at those statistics online. Every school will be posting their diversity statistics, and I think it really is a show of how the school is approaching their models of diversity. And you know, again, like all of those statistics, they just show you how the school is going to treat you when you get there. So you want to do your research and know what you're getting yourself into before you arrive.
That's awesome. Diversity sounds like it's a great thing at the University of Miami. Well, we're going to have to let Shane go. We can't keep him here asking too many questions all night. But before we go here, I just want to remind everyone to visit schoolfinesse.com at your leisure and make sure you join a group. There's a group with a whole bunch of majors. All you have to do is join a major, ask questions, get advice, find resources that worked for different people. If you don't know what major you want to do or you want to pursue, you can get right here, undecided major. There's general studies. There's different things going on here. So make sure you join the website, follow us on Instagram. I'll be providing as much helpful information as I possibly can. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Thank you so much, Shane.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.